Good afternoon, watch enthusiasts. This is OJ Whatley coming to you live and in real time, direct from What You Want, with another Time Talks video. Today we're talking about a very rare and very special Panerai collector's piece, the PAM 360 BBQ Luminor base. But before we begin our time talk, just wanted to remind you, if you like our videos, please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, What You Want Inc., so you can receive updates and news on our latest posted videos. As well, if you like this watch or you'd like to view any of our watches and our extensive inventory, please make sure to go to our website, www.whatyouwant.com. We update our website on a daily and sometimes hourly basis, so check back often. Check out our new arrivals and our sneak peeks, and you will see a constantly evolving and changing selection of new and exciting watches. So today I'm here to talk to you about the Panerai PAM 360, also known as the BBQ. This watch receives the sort of nickname BBQ because it was named after a Panerai enthusiast who was very well known and revered on the Paneristi.com website, who unfortunately passed away in 2009. So he went by the moniker WWBBQD, or simply BBQ, but his real name was Bob Quapaw, Quapaw. When this watch was released, they sort of released it on an unofficial basis in homage or in memory of BBQ. Just to clarify, none of the official Panerai documentation identifies this watch as having anything to do with BBQ. It was really more of an unofficial affectation by associating BBQ's name with this watch because he was so excited about the release of this watch and unfortunately passed away before he could see its release. So this watch was actually a very controversial watch. Controversial because at the time of its release, when they announced they were doing a Paneristi project watch, they decided to take input from the Paneristi community at large and sort of take their design cues from suggestions from the community. They announced that they were only going to make 300 pieces, and they required each person who wanted one of these watches to submit essentially an email application for the right to purchase this watch. Panerai said that they received over 2,600 requests for this watch, and in fact, they only released 300 pieces. You know, more significantly, a number of the old-time Panerai community and Panerai enthusiasts really kind of felt slighted because Panerai apparently didn't use much of a, we don't really know what criteria they used to decide who was worthy to get this watch, but a number of, like I said, longtime Panerai enthusiasts, myself included, were denied access to this watch, which definitely hurt because we felt like we were sort of the heart of the Panerai movement circa 1999-2000. So that caused definitely a riff and a level of frustration and resentment towards this watch. And additionally, when this watch was released, it was fetching anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 over what you could have purchased it for had you been chosen, and that was around $5,500. Paneristi.com at that time decided they would not allow the resale or the marketing of this watch on their trading forum, sort of as they felt it besmirched the memory of BBQ or somehow allowed unfair, capitalism to take over. So that was another reason why this watch was very controversial, was that they prevented its resale on the Paneristi forum. And I know that they are occasionally listed on the Paneristi forum, but definitely it's something that's frowned upon by the community and the moderators. Something else that was interesting was it was found out only afterwards that each of the moderators were guaranteed one of these, while guys that had been original, founding members of Paneristi.com, again, myself included, weren't able to get one of these watches. But hey, who's bitter, right? So nonetheless, the PAM 360 is a very cool watch. It features the original Panerai Ranger strap, which is a new strap that was released exclusively to this watch. It is now used released on a number of different Radiomers. But the Ranger strap was essentially like a cracked leather strap, like a distressed or aged leather strap, but it was the orange semi-matte color in the traditional Panerai color scheme. What makes this watch cool, in my opinion, is that it's got the dirty brown dial. It's got those tinted, that tinted brown luminous material on the hands, on the hour markers. This watch is almost a dead ringer for the Vendome PVD Luminors that they released between 1990 and 1995. It's got the original Vendome OP Arrows logo at 6 o'clock, which is very cool. And remember, this watch was released before they were releasing all those other watches with the OP Arrows logo at 6 o'clock. So that's something that really drove the demand and the excitement for this watch, because it did feature that original Vendome OP logo, which became much more prevalent after the release of this watch. But prior to the release of this watch, it didn't exist in the Panerai catalog, with the exception of the PAM 195. The PAM 195 was the precursor to this watch, and that was a subscription watch that you got your name on the case back. They made 200 pieces of that. So something that makes this watch special, it was released to commemorate the 10th anniversary of Paneristi.com. It's got Paneristi.com on the top and 10th anniversary on the bottom, and it's individually numbered as an M series out of an edition of 300 pieces. It also features the Vendome OP Arrows logo on the case back, which is also pretty cool. And again, in 2009 when this watch was released, I should say 2010 when this watch was released, that OP Arrows logo was not being used as prevalently in the line as it is now. So it was definitely a novelty to have that OP Arrows logo on a dial. So this watch features the 44mm PVD case. It's a DLC coated case, and I would say that the DLC on this watch is much hardier, much thicker than the original DLC on the Panerai models, both Vendome and in the first 2 years, the A and the B series, when Panerai was creating the PVD models. I think they really got it right. The biggest challenge with some of the older PVD models was, around the edges, the tops of the bezel and around the corners and edges, you would have this thinning effect where you could see the metal underneath the PVD coating. And in fact, with this watch, it really is a nice thick coating. This particular watch is just about new old stock. I would say it's probably been worn a handful of times, if that. As you see with most of the really collectible Panerai models, people just don't wear these watches, or if they do wear them, they wear them very carefully. So if you take a look at our website, you can see much more detailed photos that really show you the tremendous condition of this watch. This is definitely a safe queen by any other name. Also, this watch features the screw-in Vendome style oversized bottle cap opener buckle, also PVD coated. So that's the story of the PAM 360. I hope you enjoyed hearing it. I hope this gives you a little more knowledge about some of the Panerai subscription collector pieces dedicated to the Paneristi community. If you like our videos, please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Watch You Want Inc., and also make sure to check out our website, watchyouwant.com, to view this watch along with our entire inventory of watches. As always, thank you so very much for your time, and please make sure to wear your watches in the very best of health. This is OJ Whatley signing off. Have a great day.